Good afternoon. Welcome to Stranded Sailors Wines. Look at that beautiful bowl of big strawberries. Today we're going to be making a beautiful batch of strawberry wine made from frozen strawberries. 12 pounds of strawberries. The ingredients we're going to need pectic enzyme, yeast nutrient, acid blend, Camden tablets, some wine tannin, and Premier Cote de Blanc yeast. Right here is your recipe. You're going to need 3 teaspoons of yeast nutrient, 3 teaspoons of acid blend, 4 teaspoons of pectic enzyme, 3/4 teaspoons of tannin, 3 Camden tablets, a half pack of wine yeast. After 24 hours, I've already mixed it all up in my measuring cup. There's 13.5 cups of sugar already dissolved. And I'm going to take, here's some equipment you're going to need. You're going to need a cylinder and your turkey baster to test it with. Oh, I forgot to get out a hydrometer. You're going to need a mesh bag and a big rubber band, some measuring spoons that I've already used, measuring cups, and a couple spoons to crush up your Camden tablets. Here, I got to dig out the hydrometer. I forgot to get the hydrometer out. That's okay, we got it. Hydrometer, 1 hydrometer. All right, so let's get started here. See if I can set this down without cutting everybody off. I think I can get that done. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set these ingredients out of the way. Since I've already introduced it, I'm going to set my recipe book out of the way. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ingredients, I'm going to add it into the carboy. I'm using a 5-gallon carboy. This is a 3-gallon batch we're going to be making tonight. To make sure I get all the ingredients in here, I'm going to put a little hot water in into the measuring cup, just to make sure I get all the ingredients into the carboy. I'm going to go on and add my mesh bag and my big rubber band. I like to use a big rubber band to hold my mesh bag on. I use a really big rubber band to hold the mesh bag on so that your ingredients will stay in the mesh bag, and the mesh bag will keep everything in. Now, I'm going to take my potato masher and I'm going to mash up all these strawberries. They were frozen strawberries, but they've been sitting in the refrigerator for about 48 hours thawing out. Pre-freezing them actually starts the fermentation process. And then the Camden tablets, the 3 Camden tablets we put in, it's going to break down the natural yeast in the berries and basically sanitizes everything to start with. That's why we want to wait 24 hours before we put our yeast in, so that the Camden tablets can clean everything and sterilize the product before you start. It don't take much to crush this though, but you don't want to use any kind of electrical blender or anything, because these strawberries is full of, got little bitty seeds in the outsides of the berries, the little brown seeds in the outsides of the berries. you don't want to crush all them up with an electronic means. So you just want to take a potato masher and mash them up. I guess if you wanted to be creative, you could do it the old-timey way and crush them by feet, but I don't know if I want to be that creative or not. I am very happy. I got my muscadine vines from Eason's. I got them planted in the ground. I got strawberries planted in the ground. That'll be some production for next year. I haven't made any wine lately, so this is a fresh batch strawberry. This smells divine. I wish you could smell it. It ought to make a wonderful batch, a 3-gallon batch of wine. About 3 gallons you can expect about 15 bottles. Sometimes you might get an extra bottle or two, but you can expect about 15 bottles out of 3 gallons. As I say, I've already dissolved 13.5 cups of sugar. You don't actually want to boil it, but you want to get it hot enough that it'll dissolve everything, and basically the water will turn clear again. That way you know that it's dissolved everything in the pot. It basically makes a syrup. I think that's pretty good. All right, let me grab my spoon. I've been using this spoon to stir my sugar with. I'm going to take this spoon and start spooning in my crushed berries. And I will be making a mess in this process, but that's part of it. Hey, you know. Once the yeast gets started, it'll break down. It'll break down what don't get mashed up. So you don't have to be too thorough on the mashing. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Stranded Sailor Wines today. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day, which actually it's nighttime. But you know, where you're at, it may be daytime. So there you go. Now they do make kits and purees and stuff that you can use to make wine with, but I always use fresh berries. But like I said, there is kits and stuff that you can buy to make wine with, but I prefer fresh berries because that way I know what ingredients I'm using. And I know I'm getting good ingredients. And once you get so far down, you can turn it up, and you can pour part of this in here. Just try not to make too much of a mess in the process of pouring it. Oh, that's wonderful. Come on, pour it in there, pour it in there, pour it in. After you get it poured in, you want to take a little hot water. Make sure you get all the juice out. Just pour the juice right on top. I'm going to set this pot out of the way. Have me a little sip of wine. Here's to you. Now I'm going to pull my rubber band off. And try to get the tops all the way around. And pull it up. And I like to twist it. I like to twist it up tight like this. So that I can tie it into a knot. So that all them berries stays in the bag. I don't want nothing. I want to keep my pulp in the bag. Make a nice little knot. Rinse my hands off. And we're making a 3-gallon batch today. I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to grab my 13.5 cups of sugar that's been dissolved. And I'm going to pour it right over top. You want to let the sugar cool down to room temperature because I'm using a plastic carboy. You don't want to damage the carboy. So you want to let it cool down to room temperature. But you want to pour it right over top of the strawberries. You take some hot water and rinse out the pot. Now, right here's your 3-gallon mark. I want to go about 3.5 gallons. I'm making a 3-gallon batch, but I want to go about 3.5 gallons. Because your pulp's going to take up a bunch. Once you pull the pulp bag out, it'll drop back down to 3 gallons. Let's go about that much more. That's probably about 3.5 gallons right there. And I can set my pot back out of the way. Now I'm going to grab my bag. And I'm going to squash this up and down a few times to make sure I get all the sugar mixed up good. I'm going to take my hydrometer out. Everything's being sanitized with Star San, which is restaurant grade sanitizer. I got Star San in my squirt bottle. I'm going to Star San my hydrometer and rinse it off. And I'm going to lay it right there for just a second. I'm going to take my cylinder and turkey baster. And I'm going to reach down in here with the turkey baster and I'm going to fill it up. And I'm going to fill my cylinder up. So we can test this and see what we got. might have overfilled it. All right. Specific gravity. One point 1.80. 1.080. Alcohol by volume. Let's see what alcohol by volume is. This is going to be about 11% alcohol by volume. 11% alcohol by volume. That ain't bad. All right, I'm going to pull my hydrometer back out. I'm going to rinse it off with Star San again before I put it back in its protective sleeve, because I don't want to damage the hydrometer. This is something I need. So this should be about 11% alcohol by volume. I'm going to stick my sleeve back over here. I'm going to pour this back into the Now you can adjust the alcohol by volume either by adding sugar. You can add sugar to raise the alcohol by volume, or you can add water to lower the alcohol by volume. I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to fish my airlock and my bong out of my cup of Star San. I'll put the bong on and my airlock. Grab me a paper towel to wipe my hands off with. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today to Stranded Sailor Wines, helping me with this 3-gallon batch of strawberry wine. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this is Greg signing off. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye.